A rapturous riot of flavour, succulent filling, creamy sauce. All wrapped up in the flakiest of flaky pastries in one or both hands.
Ew. Stupid computer. I promise I always believe you, kitty. Ew, I tested it and then now it doesn't work. Thank you, kitty. Thank you for claiming your daily sausage roll. And Alien Zombie, thank you very much, my dear, for the sub. That's so nice of you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we are back in City Skylines. I'm back being muted. Clearly my computer hates me, even though I test it and then it decides to break. That's very loud. But we're just watching this bus come through our city. Hope you're all... You got fed up with ads? I'm sorry you got ads. Where is this bus going, do we think, guys? It is going to Win Chelsea. Is it not even ours? It's not even our bus. How has everybody's week's been, guys? Are we ready for the weekend? Shy's propaganda worked. It's not my propaganda. KFC ad. Have you got a KFC, kitty, or are you going to buy KFC? It's not my propaganda. I don't control the adverts. You're not going to get a KFC. Okay. I don't control the adverts. It's not my fault. But yeah, we're back in City Skylines, folks. how your week's been, folks. Come on, what are we doing this weekend as well? What shall we do? Whilst I figure out what to do in this city. Ooh, we need carrots, apparently. You missed it on Sunday, but you did watch it on Monday. Sadly, cricket, almost definitely gambling. You shouldn't be gambling, kitty. But you do you. You're a grown up. I didn't stream this. I didn't stream this Monday, did I? No, that was last week. I can't remember. Yeah, so let us quickly start by putting some carrots in, shall we? Whilst I think about what we're doing this evening. We're just chilling because it's finally the weekend. You got a little tiny bit there for carrots. That's not very big. Did we need to figure out somewhere else to build? Maybe that is going to tell us what to do today. Can't remember the last time you got up early last Sunday. Ah, the Sunday stream you watched on Monday. That's what you mean. Sorry, I didn't read your message. I didn't read it properly. I can't read. Yeah, I think we will aim for this little blob here of fertile ground, and that might give us a reason to connect up this bridge here with this highway over here. It's true, trans women can't read. I will let you off, Kitty, because you are in fact one of us. Read. What is reading? Feels like it was created by the man. But yeah, there's a cute little house here. A little barn, so it makes it perfect for fertile ground. Just started the Lakeland map last night. Cool. What we built in. What kind of city are you going for, my love?
I could use the intense heat of a hot Mexican sausage.
Thank you, Nigella. Don't know what a sausage is though. Thank you for claiming your daily sausage roll, aliens. You may have noticed that there are new Nigellas in there that we are trialing. I think that one may need fixing a bit. But there we go. Let us fix that. So, well, not fix that, but build that so that we then have an entrance into here. And then, is this covered? Of course, it's not covered by a single tile, but who is the sausage roll lady? It's Nigella Lawson, kitty. You must know who Nigella Lawson is. Don't say okay. Heir of the microwave fame. Who is Nigella Lawson? Well, Nigella Lawson, kitty, is a chef on the telly. Famous for being very posh. With big boobs. And saying silly things. Just to base it out to a city at the moment, you're at Boomtown with a population of 4k. Nice. We'd like to see it. Where's my slope thing? I can't see it. She's a great cook as well. Yes, of course. She isn't just a pretty face. Try and get this so the bridge bits are straight. Not that that bridge was straight, so I'm talking nonsense. I wanted it to go like that. The M-Booby. Is that a motorway, kitty? Yeah, thought it might be. I will add that in a sec. You're probably thinking this is the M-Booby, aren't you? That's probably what you're thinking. So let us put that in there. Use our little complex curve tool. And we will try and make a lovely fancy curve. Am I allowed to? Ooh. Also, who's Sabrina Carpenter? Who's only saying that I have to like her? This is Sabrina Carpenter, isn't it? Yeah. She's a very popular, very pretty singer, Kitty. And she's very pink and very blonde, which is clearly why Annie likes her. Because she clearly identifies with that. You don't have to like her, you just have to know who she is. Shall we put in a lovely Britishy roundabouty thing? And who is Chapel Roan? The same kind of applies in the fact that she's a very pretty, very good singer. And Mummy Annie likes her. So you just have to be nice. Am I allowed to ask how your trip to Wetherspoons went, Kitty? But Annie is saying you have to like them. You don't have to like them, you just have to pretend to like them for Annie. What did you say? I was playing with your pussycat. Okay. Get a nice sized road here. There's a 5 in there somewhere. There it is. So this is going to be above this highway. So we are gonna elevate all of this. Like that. And then we are gonna flatten it again underneath. And then we will put in our little road underneath, like that potentially. So we have a roundabout going over the top. Oh. Just remember, folks, if you don't like the music that is being played, you can request a song using !SR. And even if you do like the songs being played and you wish to hear more of the same songs, you can do the same thing. Feel free to set the vibe for this Friday evening. Just trying to get these lanes to break in the places that I want them to, so that I can upgrade them with the extra turning lane. Little slip roady business. I could do this as a trumpet interchange, but I felt like it might potentially go off in this direction. Potentially. Maybe like to go there, that little iron about or summit. But when you're putting a little roundabout in, and we might have a little stub on the other side. I'm gonna try and pop in that bridge again. Like that. And then I can connect up to that. We are going to upgrade that to be like that. Thinking about it, and then we will come on this other side and drop that down to the ground. Like that. And then we need to put in our slips. It's fun looking. We'll sort out some of those slopes in a second because they look ugly. What we're going to do first is we're going to set some of these to not be elevated. Like that. Don't know if that's gonna work. It is good. That one too. Both of these slip roads then. That little bit there, that little bit there. Those little bits just have the minimal amount of stuff. I can probably unpause for a minute. Let the game keep going. And just flatten it out to that level, and then we should be able to soften. And then we will come across there, across there, bobs. Soften all these bitty bobs. Again, we're going to mess around with this a bit, so maybe I don't need to do this just yet, but we will sort it. Because that certainly looks a bit odd. Pull that up, because I don't know why that's underground. Not possible to fix with that? No. Very ugly. May need to put a keyboard on that, perhaps. Just like that. Just to control that little bit a bit. Which I think is fine. So we then have a little thingy bobber that can come out. Also have the potential to increase the number of exit ramps on there if it becomes popular. But now with that being connected up there, anybody who actually just wants to get from this side of the map to this side of the map for some reason can just cut across and not affect our city at all. And if they want to get to the industrial area from over here, they can come down there into there. Takes a little bit of the burden off of the city, which struggles a bit with all these houses that we're putting in. So we really need people to start using this a bit. I don't know whether, because it's not actually a bus terminal, whether they are not using it because of the comfort they would get. Looks quite good, thank you, Alien Zombie. But yeah, so then we need to put in the carrot stuff, which has now disappeared. Lol. It's there, isn't it? But yeah, so at least we've opened this area up now. So whilst we don't actually need it anymore, we can prepare for when we need it, apparently. Because apparently it's not going to stick around. So we will just put in a little road that will cut past this little barn, sweep round the edge of that, and then just connect into there for the minute. And we will worry about stuff actually going in there when the demand comes back, because apparently it doesn't want to. But I'm thinking we need to fill out this industrial a bit, because this is basically all the industrial we have in the city apart from this little bit here. So we need to give people some more jobs. Where are you off to? You're off down there to the supermarket. A little bit of traffic isn't too bad. It is 7 o'clock at night. I think people might be getting a bit annoyed by this little kink. So we'll just do that in order to get rid of the kink in the road. But yeah, I think we should probably expand our industrial a little bit. Because whilst there's demand for houses, I think making sure that we have plenty of jobs. Let's have a look at the employment, thinking about it. And homeless unemployment is 9.8, so there's a bit of unemployment. You can kind of stand to have a little bit in order to keep the demand for jobs going up. I'm thinking if we ever get this DLC that I would put another harbour up here. So maybe we could look at seeing how much it'll cost to get this little islandy bit. It is just over what we have. So if we work towards that, that probably makes sense. So let us just grab these three here, which is half of our money, but we can just extend our grid out up here. You never go under 3% employment. Yeah, that's probably smart. So we're going to put in these, and then we build the industrial area, and I think then we will probably fill out this area over here, this islandy bit, to get more houses in. It's probably the move, so we can keep them balanced. Do I care about this bunch of trees? Yeah. And again, I care about leaving these trees and stuff just to try and give myself a little bit of interest and a little bit of realism, potentially. So it's not all just one big grid. Which is merely my preference. Take some of the interesting bits of the landscape and try and incorporate them into the city kind of thing. Again, we're going to do the same thing here by putting in a little bit of a curvy road. This is the main road into the industrial area. And we're just going to curve it in. And then we could have the grid switch a little bit, so it goes like that. Let's use our complex curvy tool just to do something snazzy. Like that. I'm imagining that like our harbour could come on this kind of axis on this side. Have another little road sneak through there. Potentially. Something like that, perhaps. And then this is a bit bumpier than I thought it was. So we might just get rid of those for a second. Flatten this out a little bit. Not the whole thing, just a bit around this hill. Like that. Oop, didn't mean to do the water though. It's going to have a harbour on top of it, so it's not the end of the world. And then maybe we need to just slope it. The issue with using big giant brushes. Yes, there's a bit of a cliff created there, but we'll just smooth it out a bit. Because we're leaving all those bits of wood. All those trees. So you have to make your own waterways on this map. Is that on the Lakeland map, is it? Is that what I'm playing on? I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a good opportunity to be building the canals and stuff. Get some man-made canals in there. With a few key walls and stuff. It's completely arbitrary of deciding where that grid should break. So we can just pop in some of this industrial. Thank you very much, Seribot. So we will just put that in for the minute, because that's obviously eaten all of that demand. And this is our new little industrial bit. But then, as I said, we should probably come over here in order to keep that demand at the right level, as we were saying. God, I don't know how much of this forest we're going to keep. Let us grab that tile there so we have at least the end of this island. Because we've got like a few patches of trees here, which we could try and draw inside of them, but it doesn't really give us very much. Maybe we could do our little suburby bit. Maybe that is what we could do over here. Because you know how much I love building little suburban cul-de-saciness. Maybe just with bigger houses, perhaps. Let's have a go and see how I feel. See how I feel about this. Because I like it when the city kind of just bleeds out a little bit. So there's not like a defined edge, it just kind of peters out. I don't know how much of this might turn into high density at some point in the future. It might be fun to put in some kind of medium density stuff into this little space or something, these little spaces. Perhaps. Lots of people parking on the roads, which is a little bit annoying, but does tell you that there's probably not enough parking around, which is strange because there's literally a parking garage here. That looks very empty. There's no house on this plot here for some reason, because the zoning's all mucked up. So we will take the opportunity to kill all that zoning. Ugh. I was going to say just to join that up, but clearly that was the worst thing in the world to do. Trying to keep these a little bit bigger than we did on the outskirts of the city. Because have these larger, probably more expensive homes and stuff. A very simple kind of thing. We will grab our cul-de-sacs that we pop at the end to get our extra little bit of zonings. Have an extra little one there. Let's get in some more stuff. I might first though, gonna plan out a little medium density thing over here. A bit more gritty shaped. There we go, maybe like this is the extent of it, perhaps. Doo-dee-doo. Again, it's not very flat, is it? It's a bit wibbly, but can I get away with it? And I'm gonna let's get some these high density UK buildings. Or is it them? Try and see if we can get just measuring this in my head. Measuring it, try and see what we would get if I plop these sized built-ins in. So that is like all the medium density demand that's there, and then we can put in all these larger built-ins, which we might not go huge looking at the terrain. Let's go with 4s. And once we got these in, we might be able to come back and sneak the extra little cells like we do. Very slopey ground on the edges, but I don't think that's necessarily an issue. That's a 3, is it? A few little 3s, and then back to the 4s. That's eaten all of the low density demand looking at it. Just finish your cotton chips, yummy. Love a chippy tea. Yummy, yummy, yum, yum. What was that? Oh, we got another resurgence of low density demand, which is good because that's what I'm zoning. Not the nicest to live directly next to a highway, but didn't actually want you to do that. I wanted you to do that. A little bit slopey there, but we can deal with that. But yeah, we love a chippy tea on a Friday. Let's get all this zoned in, shall we? It's very slopey there, might have to ignore that. Maybe. It's all very, very slopey. Have I had my tea? I've not had my tea yet. So we'll go for a little bit. We'll go for about 2 more hours or whatever. Until I figure out what I'm going to get for me tea. Make for me tea. Check the freezer. It may end up being fish and chips. I don't know. Fish and chips on a Friday night is certainly. Ooh. There's an ice cream van coming around. We will have to see what we have for tea. Very tempted by the idea of fish and chips. Oh, a KFC. Oh, Domino. People have been talking about KFC all day. I've been wanting a KFC since 10 o'clock this morning. Shall we try and fix some of this zoning? It's borked. I didn't think they had ice cream vans anymore. We apparently have an ice cream van that comes around at strange times of night. I don't think that it only sells ice cream. Because it comes around at 9 o'clock at night in the depths of winter. I'm sure these are zonable potentially. Squeeze that in there, shall we? Let's have a little nosy at what that has done to the terrain and stuff. But these are what I wanted. I wanted just some kind of little tower blocks in the middle of this area. Add the little British flavour to it. And we will pop in some little UK mixed housing, I think. in honour of the British ice cream vans that come around in the middle of the night. I might move that little road if it's not going to get upset with me. Which it is, obviously. Like that. Let's check this zone in. It's been years since you had ice cream vans where you live. How many roads have been built? We are way past 7, Twin. We are way past 7 and I haven't fallen asleep yet, which is good. We have finished off our highway going across here with a nice little roundabout, British style. We have put in some more industrial gridding so that we can expand our industrial area. We're just building a little extension to the end of this island here for residential stuff. So a bit more than 7. How are you doing, my dear? How's your week been? Happy Friday, happy weekend. Do you have ice cream vans where you live? Oop, bump that. Got little tower blocks coming in here. Nice views over the graveyard. We might need to look at our schools in a second, and then we need to look at this traffic, in fact. Got some people doing some silly things here, so I think we might need to just muck with these lanes a sec. Okay. So we've got the 1 lane coming here, and they basically want 2 lanes, don't they? So that basically needs to go into there. Do it the right way around. Speed it along, let them figure it out. Finish us that. They had the first ice cream van roll through the neighbourhood the other day. I hadn't seen one since we moved in about 5 years ago. There we go. I think they're making a comeback. Especially now it's getting so near anyway, but it's just saying we have an ice cream van that comes round in the middle of winter constantly. Obviously there's a lot of traffic here with people moving in to all these new houses we put in. And we could potentially put in some kind of exit here and sneak it into this area, but I don't think you would necessarily expect that. I did do some silly messing with these lanes, I believe. So we're going to reset it kind of to vanilla. Just to see if there's anything there that I mucked up. might just be that it needs an extra lane coming off. No idea how they'd be financially viable, but hey, it's nostalgic. Exactly. I think there are times and places for ice cream vans. Like if you're at the seaside, then it's obvious that you would have an ice cream van there because there's just like an audience of people. There's an captive audience at the beach. There we go. It's all cleared up. But coming round the streets is a bit strange. 87 baby, the numerous things you've seen disappear may come back now. Yeah. I am also that old. And yeah. Lots of things making a comeback. Your favourite boy bands, ice cream vans. Can't think of anything else. Please name some things for me so that I don't look entirely silly. Records. Did records really go away? I guess they kind of did, didn't they? But they turned into a bit of a niche thing, and then they kind of come back again, haven't they? How many people live in this house? 191. There are 77 households, and there are 10 parking spaces. Seems a little silly if you ask me. Records are dropped entirely out of the stores and now you can get them again. Yeah, absolutely insane prices, but hey, some people like it. Exactly. Die Hard fans always had records. Yeah, well, they definitely have. But yeah, the fact you see them back in Tesco and whatever now. We can actually move that up this way, can't we? There we go. But yeah, I think they are a bit more mainstream, you know. I'm tempted to try and actually build somewhat custom with our parking roads. A bit more like that. I suppose the same could be said for most I had to try and get the hands on it in one way or another, yeah. I think they killed off most record shops as well, is the thing. Is a thing. And then there aren't any record stores left. Well, there obviously are, but there ain't as many record stores left to actually go get your vinyls anymore. You have to go to Tesco to get them. Shall we pop in a park as well? Because that's one thing I always leave out, forget to put in. There's a park for the kiddies to go play at. What would happen if we put a key? We'll get rid of the parking. Boring. Let's see what would happen if we put the parking keyboard to get rid of the parking, but we'll just get rid of it. I wonder what would happen if we put parking on this. It's a bit weird. I'll probably leave it as it is. And then we can come do something similar over here, maybe. Maybe. In line with this building. And then we figure out how to get on the other side. What else is that? I can't remember. Stop being able to read. There's some 90s clothing styles and yeah, 90s is completely back. Which might account for the records as well, perhaps. Obviously, our childhood is now incredibly fashionable, which is nice, but it would be nice if I was fashionable when I was that age. But yeah, it's very fashionable right now. Shall we try and put in some little... Do we have little bungalowy things? Wondering if we can put in some little kind of old folks bungalows on the back. Seeing corduroy and stuff for the first time in a bit. That's a vibe. Got some ads coming up in a minute, folks. So I'm very sorry, but I can't stop them. I hope you stick around through them. Tell me what you get. Tell me what capitalism think people are trying to sell you. But yeah, schools. Let us extend this area up here so that we can see how many people we've added to this new to this area. And if we need to, well, we will need to, but put in another school in here somewhere. They're both. Nobody's watching adverts. Yay! We'd love that. We love that. Way to defraud Jeff Bezos out of ad money. Kind of. There, and then we will try and grab that just to make that shape for some reason. There we go. So we can look into Eastgate Park and go, there are 4,000 kiddlywinks. I'm pretty sure this is Eastgate Park 2. It is. That's full up. This one's almost full, so we'll probably be doing okay. This one hasn't got any extensions, so we will bob a couple of extensions on there. So that is not the issue. Ooh, what's happened here? It's just people having a smooch. Get in the right lane, come on. You're doing a Yui. Oh, great. We're going to remove those unsafe turns, just to see if it helps people stop doing Yuis. And a load of people just despawn. Don't mind if they're going to restart their journeys and try and do it properly. Again, we don't mind a little bit of traffic. Right, so that was a school. That was a school. Feel like there's another one there. That is also full up. Get an extra 500 capacity there. The old town has got a lot of kids in it apparently. 6,400 kiddlywinks. So yeah, it's very close to being full up again. Those vehicles weren't handling that intersection very well? No. I really want a box that they can't drive into. I really want a yellow box that they're not allowed to drive into the junction unless their exit's clear. But they're doing a lot of switchy. The people crossing aren't really helping, so maybe we can have a look at this. Yeah, it's just a vanilla thingy bobber, so let's use a fancy one. And we'll do the same here. And then we will speed the game up just to see that happen. And hopefully that will get these people coming through here a bit faster if they're actually not going to get blocked by the opposing traffic. Because that's the issue with the split phasing one. Obviously the two directions go crazy. Yeah. Maybe we just need to keep watching it, keep a little eye on, maybe we're making it worse. Obviously it's an inner city kind of thing, so maybe there's alternatives we need to give to people. This junction doesn't really seem to be clearing in it. Maybe it's just because of that. Lots of people backing up now. It's not really letting through enough traffic is the issue. Let us click here. So you can see that there's not very much traffic coming down here from there, but then it builds up and it builds up and it builds up. And then people are mostly going straight to get onto the thing, but they're also turning right to come down into here. And then go round and up and round and onto the highway there. So really, you kind of go, maybe if we stopped this being connected, they would find this to be the faster route up onto the highway. Or, wait, no. If you spotted what I've spotted, folks, there is literally no entrance onto the highway here because I never put one on. So, I think we can definitely fix that. So I never put one on because I built this and going, oh, I'll put it on when I need it, and I never put it on. So all this traffic here is coming up through this area and up here to get onto this highway, when really they should just be going straight into this. Doh. Silly me. So we might be having to attack this here. But yeah, how silly of me. Glad you're not the only one? Yeah, apparently. Apparently all the best people make this mistake. Oop, that was a curve. I don't want to do a curve. What a silly mistake. Don't know how happy this is going to be. Oh, that's messy. I'm going all. Get rid of that a sec, because that's ugly. We are gonna come up here. Don't tell me how tall it is. I think it's 15 or something. So we're gonna put a road in like that. And we might lower that a tad. Just move it. And then we are going to put in our slip off of here. There we go. So they have at least got an exit off there now. So hopefully they will figure that out. And it won't be as many people trying to turn right into there. They'll just be going straight. So let us speed the game up a little bit. I'm not going to put in the exit off of that just a sec. Just want to see if this improves things once people work out that they can do that. And really that's going to take a little bit of the strain off of this as well. I think setting that as a advanced split phasing is definitely the right thing to do anyway, because it stops people getting in each other's way. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely gone down already. And we can see that they're exiting off there. But yeah, it's literally completely clear now. And obviously people might be finding somewhere else to go. But yeah, that was a silly thing to have missed. So we will try and sneak in another exit, which probably removes that these folks are going to be unhappy with me. But oh well. Drop down a little bit. Minus 32%. What? It's because it's completely all the way down. Let's go with 2.6, please. Still looks a very high game. I love this because I put Annie music with Annie keys. Just put the column directly into the office. That's quite funny. Imagine having an office with a motorway pillar directly in the middle of it. How steep is this going to be, do we think? 10%. It's kind of steep. But we are gonna also remove that. And we're gonna put that move that to here with a little room to boot. I'm going to leave that as a funny little quirk. But yeah, that is actually finished. And it's only taken this long. Literally put this in the first stream, and it's taken this long to actually get round and do it. And they love it. Completely clear. Right. Obviously it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and we've stopped putting houses in, but how silly. These little bungalowy type houses. Not the little Japanese buildings, just little quirky buildings. Right, back to trying to figure out the elementary situation. I think that one is probably okay. This one here, Harbour Wharf, got 17,000 people, 5,000 kiddlywinks. There's another school there, isn't there? Yep. I think they definitely need another one. Nope, that is made as green, so it's not the end of the world. How many schools are in this area? School button. There. That's full up, so we need to expand that. That's our high school. It's not full anywhere near. Eastgate Harbour then, how many kiddies are here? 2,000. And we have space for 1,700, so we need another school in here as well. so many schools. I don't think I have the school rebalancer plugin. Plugin a mod. Should obviously solve this issue. It's kind of annoying that the only suitable school is these things. Because I don't really like this one. Stick the extension on whilst I think about it. And then we need to set that operating district to be here so it doesn't try and get people from everywhere. Then let's have a quick look over here in Evergreen End, because we've got not that many, 1200, and then a school here is full. So I think did we put another school somewhere? No. We've got the Hillside Crest one. But we should probably put another little primary elementary school in here, in this Evergreen End. So perhaps over here somewhere. Maybe we would have a nice big school complex that we could have here. I think you would expect with a fancy housing estate or something being built. Don't know why that affected the other side of the roundabout. They probably won't be happy, but oh well. Then we will grab our little tiny elementary school. Let's try and keep that as far away from the road as possible. But I'm thinking maybe we could put in a little pedestrian-y bit. Because this one has the buildings that go with it. So I'll make that Evergreen End. And then we've got all these buildings we can put with it. Build a fun little complex. And it's not got a car park for the teachers. So can we nudge that way a little bit? And then it is pop in an alley road going that way, and then two is a bit excessive. I don't like there's a big massive empty gap. So we're gonna anarchy this like that potentially, or do we try and use a let's do that. And then let us break this on here. So there's a little school. Main availability is still an issue. These folks aren't very happy. Whether they need a post box. None of these folks are happy. They definitely need post boxes. These folks aren't happy. Nobody coming down here from these postal services. There are definitely some dead spots. Definitely some dead spots in here. Let's get rid of Anarchy a second. Get some more post boxes put in here. Not sure why we don't need a post box at the bus stop, bus station, but there we go. Let's put a post box on that there, just so that they have a little bit of coverage potentially. So that gives that. Maybe there's up here as well. Yeah, in our oil area. Somebody's crashed well off the road whilst they were moving in. I'm going to crack open this can of Dr. Pepper. You haven't got to oil yet. You'll get there eventually. Let's have a quick look at our production, shall we? Oh, look, the carrots. The carrots are back. The carrots have returned. So we can actually put in some carrot over here. Some veggies. Little splodge. Have I ever had root beer? I think I have. It's not something I have drunk on a regular basis, but I imagine I have had it. Most used to drink dandelion and burdock in my family. It was the weird drink that you would drink it in the summer. But I feel like I've probably drunk it. Root beer. Love root beer. It's nice. But yeah, we always used to drink dandelion and burdock as the weird British drink of choice kind of thing. Not that root beer is particularly British at all, but kind of American, but and of course they need power, don't they? And all the other stuff. But I think they're all tiled up towards here. So we can get our stuff connected in. Where is the nearest electricity? It comes along here, perfect. So we can cut across the highway somewhere. Let's say there. Yeah, I thought it was American. I think I specifically chose Dr. Pepper as my favourite fizzy drink because nobody else liked it. Alright, and then we can put in another little transformer into this area. Like that. We can get a little water tower put in. And we're just going to connect up our number 2 pipe. With our city. It's not entirely realistic to follow the bridge, but we're going to do that anyway. It's already almost 7 o'clock. Time flies. Is that hooked up? It is perfect. Let's have a quick nosy at these signature buildings because I haven't really got any. We've got the dairy house and we've got the chemical plant. It does always fly. So we're not really progressing those things. We've only got 2 level 5 industrial buildings, but we don't have very much industrial anyway. And then that's the stuff related to the universities. Not got very much of those either. Got the little office thing that we could put in somewhere. Oh, and now we've got a little bit of demand for the other stuff. So we pop in another little green farm. Or quite a large green farm, perhaps. I'm tempted to put one in there. There's not much fertile land there, but I just want to get it kind of a bit straighter. So let's do Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the angle I want to get to come in here. Maybe something like that. Nope, it's just going up and up. Tiny little surplus of oil. I'll just leave that for the minute just to see if that meets anything. Oh, traffic jam. Apparently. It's going the opposite way now. So that probably means that this needs to be asymmetric. I think we're now getting all the traffic, yeah, we're getting the traffic coming down there now. So we could probably do with the extra lane coming in here, if I can remember where it is. Like 3 and 1, and that's 3 and 2. Just trying to see if there's a 5 that was 4 and 1. Because again, we don't have Road Builder installed. I'm going to try and prefer to use the vanilla roads that we got. And this highway here, there's barely anybody turning left anyway, so that's probably not an issue. We could probably turn this into a dedicated right hand lane, but let's just have a little nosy to see where these folks go. All turning round. It's 20 to 8 at night. Yes, there's a lot of people going straight on in this lane. It would be ideal if we could have 4 lanes and then 1. I wonder if we could use this. Or would that just make it more difficult for people to come out the other way? Potentially. I don't want to limit the amount of lanes that these guys have to come out this way. What's happening here? Do these folks need it to be asymmetric? Because it's confusing with that being parking. Literally nobody turning though. They all come through here. They come straight through there. Oh, there's one person turning because of the traffic, I presume. I'm going to upgrade this to be like that. Still all working because this is empty. It's getting people out of that, get through that junction. Is that a dedicated right hand lane? It's not. They're all going straight on as well. Little wibbly wobbly car, they're all excited. It's clearing up. I think it's just one of those spots that's very busy. Right, let us look at our unemployment a second. So it's 8%, so we do need more houses coming in. And it's kind of weird putting it up a bit rather than trying to get the employment rate up rather than down, but we just need to zone a bunch more industry. Turn the game speed down so my computer doesn't turn into a jet engine. At some point we will meet the limit of what my computer can take. But we just have to keep an eye on the traffic, make sure that the traffic doesn't build up to a point where it can't cope with all the people milling around. Let us look at our public transport. We've got 8,000 people on our subway service that loops around the bottom. And we've got 39,000 people on the buses. The number of train lines seems to be going up. So look at our lines to see if they're oversubscribed, which they shouldn't be. No. Relatively small amount of usage on the subways, but definitely people using it. So buses are still the most popular transport, with that car park being full up. Love to see it. This is filling up. Let's click the post again. I'll look to see if there's any dead areas. Well, none of the buildings have mail accumulation is just the roads that have a bit of poor service. So you can instantly solve that by just plopping a little postie box on the end. Ooh, apparently this is bad, so let's just put a post box at the end of the pier. Apparently this isn't served very well. You can have a little post box. In here, apparently not served very well. A little post box to put your postcards on. Our new little area up here is a bit rubbish for post. And I think all these little post offices that we have are basically just sending out all their people constantly. Let us have a little nosy at our communications, because we did put that one tower in, which is covering pretty much everywhere. Modern telecom building. Yeah, I think we just need to keep expanding. Folks moaning about their driveways not being connected. And have a little nosy at our coverage of these other things. Pretty well covered for fire. Police could leave something to be desired. Oop, not got any space for their criminals. So we need somewhere to put our criminals, it would seem. So, can we unlock a police headquarters or something? And then find somewhere to put it. And also I'm going to unlock welfare offices because we haven't actually looked at that yet either. Interestingly tall one. That's a short, fun-sized building. That's got 100 capacity. That one's got 100 capacity. That one's 100 capacity. It's just got twice as many cars. I think this has a garage though. So, if we were going to put a police headquarters in. Ooh, are we running out of? No, there's just a bottleneck of power. Is that affecting the entire city? No, because we're getting our power from over there. Is it just because this is now drawing more power? Let us pop in another transformer. Just straight would be good. There we go. Just divided up that energy into 2 different routes into this area. No demand for industry right now. Easy fix. Really love an easy fix. Unemployment is down again, so we definitely need to be putting more houses in. And I keep saying about it, and I keep doing it. Oh, we have an issue with our hearses again. There's not any traffic backing them up. They are all out there. They're all out there, so we are just struggling with hearses, aren't we? Because we put this one over here as well. And they're all out there as well. Must have a little bit of a death wave going on. So it's not like there's any traffic backing up in here. It can be a pain if you're new to the game. The power thingy bobber, what's it called? Bottleneck. Because it's not entirely clear what the issue is, in my opinion. Let us try and pop in another little crematorium somewhere that's nearby here, but not necessarily. I think this, as a wooded little area, is probably quite nice. A nice little place to rest, as you might say. There's quite a few bits in this game that are tricky to understand if you're a newbie, in my opinion. Which is obviously part of the fun, and not everything should be explained, but I think if they want to get people playing it, and get new people playing it, and they need to make sure that it's not too confusing to just have a successful city. We are going to put a nice little crematorium here. Did I put that in without a key? No. Good. And I imagine that's going to send out a load of people in a minute. There we go. Let's give them that little upgrade. Gonna almost absolutely no reason to do this, but I'm just gonna put a little road like that and put these off of that road. Simply because I can. Sorting speed has gone up again, even though it goes down and it goes back up again. For some reason, we were also trying to find our police headquarters area, weren't we? So, where would we put that? I kind of feel like where we had our fire station before, and this hill would be kind of cool. kind of like a signature-y type building, and obviously I don't have any money anymore. But I feel like on this top of this hill, there's a feature that you drive past, and it puts you off wanting to commit crimes. Maybe this other side. Like there or something. Spin it around so that we can put the road a little bit fancier. I think we'll do that. We just need some more money to come in, please. I'm going to flatten out the pad while I think about it. There's a little bit of soil being moved. But it'll give the police officers a nice view of the city they're protecting. Where's your hearse? Here it comes. Don't worry. There we go. There is our money for our police headquarters. I wonder if we'll build a prison at some point. Let's put that about there-ish. And we're going to put in a little alley road. And we're going to put in a little, I was going to say a little parking road. Is that divided? Yeah, we don't want a divided one. That's why it was bigger than I expected. And then we're going to connect this in somehow. Maybe simply like upset that that's going to attack that person's house. Pop in one of our little roundabouts. Because hopefully nobody's actually coming down this road anymore anyway. Oh, why are you annoyed by that? Fine, build 2 houses instead, honestly. I'm thinking that actually this can probably get shrunk down a little bit, because as we've now fixed this thing over here, there's literally nobody coming out of this junction. So we can just steal back an extra little lane off this. And maybe we could even do both, but police car doing wibbly wibblies. Let's just boost that up a little bit so that we put some trees in the road. Let's try and just fix that little wobble that was there. And then we just fix this slopey dopey. It looks a bit oddness. And then we've got upgrades we can put on. I can't afford it at the minute, but there's a little garage that will give us an extra 20 patrol cars, which is amazing. And then a little helipad, which will obviously make even better. The only issue I have with helipads is that they just end up sending helicopters to everything. And I don't want to see helicopters going to every single instant. But I think that is actually a really smart place to put it. And putting a helipad on there is obviously far away from these buildings, these high-rise buildings. I think they would just have to watch out for this tower and not crash into the telecom tower, which just looks huge compared to that. How are our thingy bobbies doing? Our hearses, they're getting there. Again, there's no traffic holding them up. I think there's just a lot of people dying. How is our health anyway? Citizen health. Nowhere that's bad. So I think it's just the usual kind of illness. Well, apparently there's lots of ill people here. Which is a hospital, so kind of understand it. But yeah, there's nowhere where it's actually bad. I really want this DLC. When are they going to launch this DLC? I feel like I've been waiting forever. Your internet is down because a helicopter hit it? Yeah. That would be the thing. Oh, so we have another crematorium here. I completely forgot that we had that. I'm gonna try and find a better place to put that. Because this was like a merely temporary dropping spot for all my buildings when I was sorting this junction out. And I haven't actually sorted them out yet. Which is a little bit silly of me. I am gonna let us extend this alleyway. a little pad here. And we're going to just put this into this area. Apparently not. Excuse me, game. Thank you. So that makes a little bit more sense. Then we have our medical centre, which is obviously the only one in this area. So we're going to make sure that that stays relatively close. It did say by the end of Q2 2025, which is June, we will get the first DLC. Yeah, that feels so far away. I wanted it to be the start of Q2. Move this into here. You got a little ambulance thing. No. Just space for patients. And then we've got our little fire service. We're going to pop that next door. Yeah, that sounds correct. You are correct, I'd imagine. How do I even feel about this fire station in this particular area? This feels a little bit more correct. I can't afford it though, but my reason for moving that stuff was so that I could then put housing into this area. Hopefully the first of many, which there definitely will be, but hopefully it doesn't take that long between them for us to get some good content, because I clearly don't mind playing the game as it currently is, but it's always nice to have new stuff and add the stuff that's missing from the game. I'm using the wrong thing. I thought I was on a continuous, that's why it's not doing what I was doing when I was pressing a button. Please stop snapping, because I just want to be able to do that. New release of life, yeah. Just kind of gives you a few extra things to play with. New challenge. I'm going to get a slightly bigger roundabout onto there. Just going to pop in all of these. big as they can go, and we'll sort out the terrain in a second. Managing it as we come round a bit next to this highway roundabout. Once all these houses are in, we can probably go around and sort out putting some more trees in between these houses just to fill it in a bit more. And one thing I'll keep forgetting is parks and stuff. Just give these folks a little bit of entertainment. Interesting, a bit of terrain there. Just flattening these out around them, and then we'll go smooth it out in a second. Soften, and then a lump there, looks bad. Oops, somebody needs an ambulance. I wonder if that is possibly why we're getting a lot of hearses required, is because we don't have enough ambulances. And the ambulances aren't getting there in time for people. Maybe. Making sure we might actually have to have a medical helicopter, perhaps. Let's have a look and see how many ambulances we've got going out and whether they're all getting there. Because we have a lot of hearses, I feel like, compared to what probably got in ambulances. It feels a bit bitty, this. So I may build into some of these groups of blobs of trees. I don't need to save every single one. Just to fill it in a little bit more. Because that's what I like about these, where we put little tiny houses and fill in the gaps. Let's click on this. Because our coverage is good. There isn't anywhere where it's necessarily bad, she says, and then there's over here, which is kind of rubbish. And that's kind of rubbish. But there's definitely a lot more hearses moving around. But again, it's only 2 of 20 that are currently out. So my theory being that there's not enough ambulances, you're going to go, clearly in some places there are. That just expands the number of patients they can have. And pop a little clinic in here. A little student healthcare clinic. Up a hill for some reason. What's going on here? Got a traffic jam. This is our slightly crazy junction design. Which is now interacting with the Dean Highway. Did I not actually give Kitty her highway name? I didn't. I'm very sorry, Kitty. Not that you're here, but I'm very sorry. There you go, Kitty. I feel like they just need an extra lane on here. add a bunch more lanes for them to figure out what to do. Yeah, because it's getting very busy. And it being off centre is really annoying. And also thinking that what we'll do is we will get that coming into there, but we will also try and figure out how to get an extra lane coming off here. To kind of shortcut this roundabout. Ugh, I hate that you're jumping around. I'm going to build my own little roundabout, I fear. Because I don't like that the default one is bouncing around. I just lost the name of Kitty's highway. So how big can we make it? Please don't snap to that. Get as close to 4 as possible. It's not perfect. That's better. we're going to sweep that in, I think. So it doesn't actually come in at a right angle, it comes in like that. And then we're going to upgrade these. And we're going to do that there. And we're going to get this coming out like that, that's fine. Let's give that an extra little turn in slip. So if these people want to come into the roundabout, probably want that to be 3 somehow, without it looking awful. Which then gives 2 rights. Does that then become 3 lanes as well? Because this particular junction here, thingy over here, shouldn't be like that. It should be like that. And then, so that one's that. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so I feel like that is probably better. I'm not even sure if we need this anymore. It's a little bit hacky. So let's just confuse people for a second. So hopefully this will get people moving through here faster. Lots of people switching lanes, which tells me that potentially need extra lane coming off. Like that. Which kind of gives us what we were going to have before with that extra little slip to get straight onto the Booby Highway. Because what I don't want to see is people from this lane moving into the right hand lane just so that they can go right. I want them realising that they can go all the way around as they're doing there. Obviously there's a bit of weirdness here. So maybe we can use our priority tool that I never use, which is these folks on here should have priority. These folks should yield to them, which is not seeming what happens. I presume that's what's happening. The little yield signs on the ground showing that they're supposed to be yielding with the little yield signs, because as we know, you don't drive onto a roundabout without yielding. And it's all instantly gone. Lovely. Actually got this car park which is filling up now, which is lovely jubbly. All that industry is filled in as well. You've got 2.8%. You're going, I need to add more houses in. How are these folks doing with their prisoner numbers? Still full up. Do we need to add a prison? Shall we look at putting a welfare office in first, though, rather than trying to put all our people in prison first? Now, I love the Japanese one because it's tiny in comparison-ish. But they're also fairly similar, I guess. How much is that going to cover? I need to be able to put like 2 in potentially. Which would be tricky in here. Such a big building. It's almost like it's an afterthought in my city. Maybe we can attack some of this industrial. And let's go. And offices as well. Where is it? It's here. Oh, I've just cleared a massive space, so maybe we could just put in the default. Apparently it costs less to run to run it. Seems to have the best compromise of coverage. Can we put it in this way round? We can. Just so the entrance isn't on the main road. And then sneak a little bit of office back in there. So we're not obviously covering a whole bunch of the city, but we're showing you a bit of it. And we can probably put in another one over here. Let's probably put in the little one. Little Japanese one. Apparently it's affected all the way over there. Which honestly looks more like a church than anything. Those fancy churches you get nowadays. And it changes on here, doesn't it? Well, that's just silly. Making sure that Kitty gets the best money for her nameage. Best nameage for her money might make more sense. And welfare coverage, not the best there then, so we need another one over here somewhere, but quite where? Maybe again around the university would make sense. We don't have the money for it though. Certainly not that one. It's always nice to kind of group these different types of building together, try and make them feel like a cohesive thing. I'm not sure there's space to fit it there without anarchy. Maybe just over there is the place to put it. This end of the island definitely needs some kind of more thinking to it, because this looks really nice. Whether this just needs building up. But I am kind of putting off putting any more quay walls and roads in until we actually see what the DLC comes with. Which is obviously a little bit away. Here we got 90,000 again. the little one in there. So the rest of this welfare coverage that we need to be adding, kind of, can we cover it with an extra one in here? We can. So we just need to squeeze another welfare building in here somewhere. But that obviously means us to have some more money. Unemployment is at 3% because I've not built any more houses. I'm gonna do what I said before, which is, so you place a lot of water on your map. I haven't placed any water on this map because I don't have a water placement mod or anything, but I specifically chose this map because it had lots of water in it. How come they haven't built in? Odd. If I'm misunderstanding you there, alien zombie. Let's put in our little cul-de-sacs into this so that we fill this up a little bit better. Have to zoom out of the next one a bit later. Yeah, there's lots of water on this map. And I like to build my city all split up. But I like the challenge of having lots of water to deal with. It creates interesting shaped cities and stuff. Where is the starting point? Starting point was, well, this starting point was this highway was here. We had a highway coming across onto here, onto this island, and it was kind of, let's see if I can bring this up, can't we? It was kind of these, is it these tiles here? Or something, or maybe these three, perhaps those three tiles. So where I've got Eastgate Old Town and Harbour Wharf and Eastgate Harbour, it's this kind of area, potentially. And then obviously I've built out from here, but yeah. So this is like this is the original highway came into here, and then I built this. This is my first junction that I built, which is why I forgot to put the other ramps on. Got your map unlocked from the start. That's kind of smart. I don't actually play like that though. I do buy all the tiles, but I do obviously split my city out, and I do cheat a little bit with my bit of anarchy to join stuff up. Because, for instance, I put in this train line coming down here without buying all the tiles, which is basically the same as owning all the tiles. Oop, what has happened here? Somebody's set on fire trying to put into the going to school. What was I doing? I was putting in houses. We did that bit. You can fill in this little section there. They haven't built in here for some reason. They're doing some very strange things with the building of their houses. We have enough money again for another welfare centre. Have to figure out somewhere I can pop this that isn't too disruptive. I'm always thinking we could build onto this island. Because we own that now, don't we? Yes. I'm gonna bit of a disruptive on that, but we are going to create the craziest junction ever. Sorry, folks. Let's get that zoning off of here. Should get them to demolish their houses and try again. And then I've got my eye on this road here. like that. I don't like that being higher up. Control, does that work? Makes it very low, but at least they're all the same height now, so we can actually pull them up. There we go. And got all. I don't actually want to build out into this. I'm contemplating whether we could eventually use this as somewhere to put like our signature castle building. Landmark building. I can't remember where they are. There they are. Is it in here or is it a park? It's a tourist attraction, isn't it? There they are. That's our castle. I can't even click on it to look at it. But put our castle on here or something. That would be fun. But for now, we're just gonna put our little welfare centre on. I've got that road coming out there, which is kind of designed to come onto here, which could be fun. Put another little entrance there. Right, well, the clock has just chimed 8, which kind of means that it's time to go and find some grub, figure out what I want to eat for tea. But just a little cozy stream. So let us go and see if anybody I follow is online. They are. Thank you for being here, Alien Zombie. Thank you for the sub as well, my love. What's going on in cities? I think we will go there, because we have been there before. So we are going to go raid Mr. Trashcan, who's also playing Cities 2. We have raided them before, and they're a lovely bean. So I hope you come and join me there for a little bit whilst I go and then figure out what I'm having for tea. But I will post my raid messages here. I will copy it for myself so I don't forget. But I will be back on Sunday morning, which I'm aware is a little bit early. But we will be playing some kind of cities, I think. I keep contemplating, we might be starting Cities 1 again with a bit of crowd control, because the last city I built with Cities 1 was completely destroyed and I wasn't really feeling it. So maybe I will install some mods and stuff, try and make my ordeal a little bit more fun. But thank you very much again, Alien Zombie, for the sub. That was very sweet of you. Thank you for all for claiming your daily sausage rolls. Thank you everybody who popped in and said hello. I will see you all again on Sunday. Love you. Bye.